Miss Alicia.
Hi, Mrs. Yaomi.
What are we What are we doing today?
We are doing a literacy experience using name cards and loose parts. So I'm going to set this up, but I do want to talk about the materials we're using. So today we're using these oversized name cards. And you'll notice the difference in size because these are sentence strips we usually use like on a daily basis. But for this experience, we're going to use these oversized cards, so that the children will have more. They'll have more space to trace over the letters in their name using these loose parts. So I'll get into how we'll use it in a minute. But I want to show you that there's a picture of the child on their name card. So this might be a way that you start off this experience. Because you'll find that some children might recognize the letters in their name and some children will not. And so one way that you can support their letter recognition and name recognition is by putting a picture on the name card. So when they walk up to the table and they're looking at the name cards, they'll look for their picture, and then we can look at and talk about, oh yes, this is your name, Olivia, and your name starts with O, and kind of make more connections with them that way. So I'm gonna set this down, and then I'm gonna talk about the materials we're using with the name cards. So these are loose parts. So we have glass beads, a variety of colors. These are yogurt caps, marker lids, and I think these are from applesauce containers. I think we have like a milk cap as well. So these loose parts are just straight from our classroom. We collect them. We have a glass jar that the children will put their yogurt caps in after lunch. They bring them for lunch. When our markers dry out, we save the caps. They put it in the children can even sort them and put them in the art bay and just sort it by color. And you can also ask your parents to collect caps and loose parts. These pieces that they would normally throw away, but they're really useful in the classroom. We use them for a lot of different.
And we're helping the environment.
Experiences. Yes, Mrs. Yowie. We are repurposing them and continuing to use them. So the next materials are the natural materials I actually got from our playground. I don't know what kind of tree it is, but it has these small leaves, and then I just cut the branch into small small twigs, so the children can trace more of the straight lines if they'd like to, using those. Before I finish setting up, I just wanted to share kind of the purpose of what the children will be doing, or what we'll be inviting the children to do, and that is to, like I said, trace their name. And so I do want to share why we're calling it tracing, because when you might think tracing is using a hand and a pencil and writing over dots or over dashed lines to write the letter out. What we are introducing today is considered tracing as well, because the children will be going over the path of the letters in their name using these objects.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's very helpful.
So we know, not every child is going to use the materials that way, but you will be exposing the children to a developmentally appropriate way to trace.
Turn the cards around.
Sure.
Thank you.
So here are the extras. And so the way we'll set it up is I have a tree trunk. I'm going to set the extras on the side here, just so that these name cards are pretty large. And I'm going to set them up so that the children can work around the table. So we'll have room for 4 children at a time. And then I'm going to arrange the loose parts so they look aesthetically pleasing. I might rearrange some of these parts so they look presentable and beautiful and inviting. Let's see, this is a dish rack we found at a thrift store that help us so that the names are stacked standing up so that it's more visible than if they're laying down flat.
Can I ask you a question? When you come in and introduce the children to the activity, do you tell them that they are invited for 4 children, or is it the children that their name tags are on the table?
Well, that's a great question. So when we come around and share, invite the children to the table, we'll have these names out so that they can recognize. We'll ask them, what do they see? And they'll tell, some children will say, I see my name, or that's me. And so they'll understand that their names are on the table. But when it's time to start their morning work, the children that choose this table first, and have room to come here, they'll start here regardless if their name's on the table, or if they need to find their name, it'll be here next to them.
Thank you.